It makes Good evening. My name is John Hins. I'm the chairman of the Planning and Zoning Committee. I represent District 21, which consists of the south side of the city of Oshkosh along Lake Winnebago, around and including the airport. In a moment, I will ask the members of the committee to introduce themselves, and I will also ask the staff to introduce themselves and explain the appeals procedure. The hearing process is as follows. Please turn off or silence your cell phones. All testimony is given for the record. Please come forward when recognized and you will be sworn in by the stenographer. When talking, please speak clearly so that all in attendance can hear what you have to say. When you are giving your testimony, please state if you are for or against the item that you are testifying about. The committee doesn't want conversations between members of the audience. If you feel the need to have a conversation with the other individuals, we ask that you would please leave the room. If you have questions of a particular speaker, please come forward and ask your questions of the committee, and we will try to find the answers out for you. The committee will make its decision on November 10th. As with all county meetings, it is an open meeting. However, no additional testimony will be given at that time. This is your one and only opportunity to present testimony for the record. The deliberative meeting is held on the third floor conference room of the County Administration Building here on Otter Street. The meeting time is 7:30 a.m.
I'm Mary Beth Gabbard. I represent District 12, which is a portion of the town of Oshkosh and city of Oshkosh.
My name is Howard Miller. I represent District 36, which is the towns of Wolf River, Winchester, and the western part of Clayton.
Good evening, I'm Shauna Zester. I represent the Carmine, Black Wolf, and the east part of Utica.
I'm Daniel Lefebvre, Assistant Zoning Administrator with Winnebago County.
Caleb Edwards, Code Enforcement Officer for Winnebago County.
Ryan O'Rourke from the Planning and Zoning Department. The appeals procedure is as follows. 1, anyone wishing to protest a zoning map amendment needs to do so at least 24 hours prior to the item being considered by the county board. Contact the zoning office during normal working hours and staff will assist with this procedure. 2, an aggrieved person may appeal a final decision relative to a code amendment, either text or map amendment, by filing an appeal with a court of competent jurisdiction within 30 days of the final decision.
Okay, thank you. With that, we'll move on to our one and only item, Scholar Ridge Estates. And Vice Chair.
Application number 2023-ZC-6480. Applicant Scholar Ridge Estates. Agent Brian O'Rourke. Winnebago County Zoning Department. Location of premises 2689 County Road I. Tax parcel 006-0617. Bren PT. Bren 006-0632, PT, and parcel 006-0618, PT, Legal description: being all of the northwest quarter of the northeast quarter, the southwest quarter of the northeast quarter, and the north 1/2 of the northwest 1/4 of the southeast 1/4 of section 24, township 20 north, range 16 east, town of Clayton, Winnebago County, Wisconsin. Explanation: applicant is requesting a zoning change from non-shoreland, town of Clayton zoning jurisdiction, to R2 shoreland, suburban residential district, R3 shoreland, duplex residential district, and R4 shoreland, multifamily residential district for a proposed development.
Thank you. And do we have the applicant here?
Yes.
Did you want to come forward and say anything, or
Unless you have any questions.
okay? We'll get to that in a second. Do you have anything?
I'm the land surveyor here to help answer any questions.
So the background on this is when they started the development, there was no shoreland jurisdiction. And as part of the approval process, the DNR went out and on-sited it and then made the navigability determination, which made it shoreland. Because it wasn't shoreland before, there was no county zoning district on the property. So with the development, there's going to be multi-zoning districts. And if you remember, one of the conditions of the preliminary plat was that this had to be applied for and approved prior to approval of the final plat. So what we'll do is on the agenda for next Friday, we'll put this first before the plat, because if this doesn't get approved, then we can't approve the final plat, so. Just a quick background.
Okay, did anyone have any questions on this of the petitioner?
The only question I have is we're looking at this property and we're claiming that that middle section is shoreland. What about the property on either side of this? Does that supposed creek, is that shoreland in those areas as well?
Yes,
And only in parts. According to the
Right.
DNR, only one part of that is within shoreline. And then it abruptly stops per their determination.
So this doesn't connect with any other navigatable waterway?
It may on the north part, but on the far west part, I believe it ends its navigability. So
We need to know where that extends.
I think we have a determination map either in there or we could bring it to the
And
deliberative.
have those property owners who's affected by this shoreland, have they been notified?
no, not to my knowledge.
This was the first step, was these individuals' application.
Yeah, the
And then-
DNR only did it.
Hey, hold on. If you want to say anything, you gotta get sworn in.
Yeah.
I'm concerned about I have no objection to what they're trying to do, what you're trying to do here. You know, I'm fine with that. My concern is the other property owners whose land may all of a sudden be in shoreland and they haven't even been notified.
As of yet, no. They have not.
That's problematic to me, but.
Yeah. At the end of the day, whether they've been notified or not is irrelevant to what we're reviewing. That would be a separate conversation, but we can have that conversation. We can put that on the planning meeting agenda for next Friday.
It was to be brought up at our next meetings, was to notify those individuals. This was yeah, that's right.
It's in our packets.
Okay.
This was the first step, was these applicants. And then the next will follow.
And that's something I was gonna bring up, was that what we're doing here today, while that's valid and we
Yeah,
as a group, we're gonna want those answers for this.
We had planned on having this conversation next Friday.
Okay. You good with it?
All right.
Yes, Sean.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. So I'm all for, if I can make that comment, you guys to roll with that. I wouldn't want to ever, slow that down. But I was new to planning and zoning a year and a half ago, so I don't understand some of this, but practicality wise, it concerns me that somebody from DNR, and I know they're above us or an authority, it concerns me that they come and they make that judgment. And I'm wondering if they could be represented at our deliberation somehow.
That's their prerogative as they see fit, but I don't think they're gonna show up.
I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Their determination is what their word is, so, I don't think you'll get any more explanation of the DNR than.
And think of it this way, how many times do we get them there for the Sawyer Creek discussions?
Once.
It just
Once.
seems confusing to me that they can just determine that and we're scratching our heads and going,
Well, they have the sole authority to determine that based off their people, so there's nothing we can do about it.
so if the land, let me ask another question.
Sure.
So if the land's been there for, hundreds of years and it didn't change, I mean, when did they start becoming more involved, can I ask? And
They didn't start, they're involved, they're always involved in development. It's in every other case that it's rare they'll provide comments or direction to us. It's only with development. And at the end of the day, the only thing that affected is they needed this step with the county.
They needed this step, the DNR needed that.
No,
We have to zone it now.
we
Yeah.
have to have some zoning district in this shoreland area, because prior to that, it was town of Clayton jurisdiction, so there was no zoning district. This part of this proposed project is a formality. All that meant was we had to get a zoning change instead of just reviewing the plat, so.
Okay. Okay,
Anything else? Hey, did we have any correspondence or communications on this?
No correspondence on this, but they have approved the preliminary plat.
Okay, thank you.
They're a separate approving authority, and we are the last signature, so we just wouldn't sign it unless the town signed it. And I believe that they will. I haven't heard anything that they have any opposition to it, so.
Okay, thank you. And if they do, I'm sure that information will be made known to us.
okay, I have another question.
Okay.
So didn't I understand correctly? Can I say something that we talked about in the van?
Yes.
I just
Well,
oh, I'll ask a question about what you just said.
okay.
Did you just say that the town of Clayton is pretty much saying yes so far?
As far as I'm aware, yes.
Okay, all right,
They are.
okay.
And
thank
this
you.
has been going on for a number of months, so if they had an issue, we would have heard about it a while ago, so.
They have no issue.
All right, thank you.
Okay, that takes care of our agenda items. I'll accept a motion.
I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
So moved and seconded. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? We are adjourned.